The following presentation is a part of the National Heavy Boxing League's 10th season, celebrating 10 years of the premier level of heavy boxing in the Team Fortress 2 community, and a final send-off as the NHBL closes after its 10th season.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NHBL European Finals, live here from London, England, all the way over across the Atlantic Ocean from the United States. Proud to be here with Mindless Gonzo and another fellow commentator of mine from the one and only United Kingdom, Ridge here. It's going to be a great tournament that we've got ahead of you. We've only got 4 matches for you tonight, half of the round of 16 occurring, including Jump Shot and the Man of Destruction opening up this tournament, 2 substitute boxers. But what's even more interesting coming up is Setuplet and Ego, a matchup between 2 heavy boxers who haven't faced each other before, but both of them participated in the Season 6 NHBL Finals. Later on, we have Metro and Chicken facing off. Chicken, a participant of the Heavy Fight Club and a substitute boxer, I believe, in the last tournament for the NHBL. Metro, contender since Season 2 of the NHBL, looking to get some glory here and get his first tournament win. And the night will close off with El Comandante and Retro facing off against each other. El Comandante, the first European heavy boxer to participate in the Natascha Heavyweight Championship, facing off against Retro, who's looking to make his mark a little bit more than he already has in the NHBL. Now, Gonzo, we look at this first match between 2 mysterious boxers. We're not sure what we can really say about either Jump Shot or Man of Destruction, but the both of them looking to make their mark, especially on one of the NHBL's biggest stages.
You're asking the wrong guy, because it's like, those are very, very new to me. I only know a few of the wrestlers here, so...
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's hard to say anything about the new boxers until we see the warm-up rounds. But let's talk to you. Also a little bit about Setuplet and Ego, the second match that we have coming up. You know, Setuplet has consistently been in the Final Four or has lost in the quarterfinals to someone he's lost to before in the Final Four. So Setuplet having a better advantage, being the Finnish-based heavy boxer, now playing on a server in London, where looking at his ping right now, it's usually 170 over on the United States Chicago server, but Setuplet connecting in right now. We don't know his ping yet, but likely it will be lower than that, or at least somewhat more decent, and he's playing in London.
Yeah.
That ping is definitely going to fare well for him.
Yeah, because back in the past, especially with the bigger tournaments, the ping really did affect how he was able to box, and it managed to become his downfall. Hopefully, with a server that's closer to his location, he might actually fare well, as you indicated. But that's just one part of how things normally go down. The rest is just timing, luck, and who struck first and who's going to win.
Yeah, there's a lot. Ping doesn't necessarily determine the match itself, but it's going to be interesting to see how Setuplet plays with likely around in between 30 and 70 ping. Now, Reg, let's get your word here on one of your boys from the Heavy Fight Club, Chicken. He's facing off against Metro. It's the Frenchman against, I'm not sure where Chicken is based. I know he's based in Europe based on that between 55 and 60 ping, but how is he going to fare against Metro, one of the longest tenured heavy boxers in the NHBL?
I reckon he'll fare decently well with Ping out on his side here. Well, all I really have to say is if he can defeat White Russian Bear on 125 ping, he could probably defeat people with lesser ping than that. So, well, we never know. We might see some very exciting action today.
Yeah, and speaking of exciting action, the final match we have to close the kickoffs is in between El Comandante and Retro. And Comandante, he is looking for a chance at getting a championship title since he had that stripped of him when he faced off against Russian Bear and lost 6-2 in the Natascha Heavyweight Championship. So El Comandante, regardless of who he faces, he's even more passionate than before to try and get a championship.
Definitely. This match, El Comandante versus Retro, one of the many dream matches that can occur here. Yeah, El Comandante is probably going to be looking at some chance of redemption for himself here in these European finals.
Looking for one of the biggest redemptions possibly in NHBL history. And again, whoever is the Natascha Heavyweight Champion gets a slot in the NHBL finals. Jump Shot and Man of Destruction about to face off here. Now, this is a thing we haven't done in a long time, Ridge, and I think is a little bit before you started to participate here in the NHBL as they take their warm-up rounds here. Let's judge based what on they're wearing. We'll look at their loadouts here. And, of course, the item server is starting to go down for some people. And if actually, it looks like they're not even doing their warm-up rounds here. They're supposed to go. So they're going to get their warm-up rounds here. Come on, man. Start your warm-up rounds. Sheesh. All right, so, you look at their warm-ups. You got one is going for the little bit more sensei look, I would guess, and then the other one's just trying to stay warm as an actual Russian there. Crew Mask getting that first warm-up round victory. And it looks like one of them is representing an entirely different continent, but one can only tell which continent either of them are based in, since they're backup heavy boxers and their ping is fairly high up there, Ridge.
Yeah, I reckon the sensei look will probably give him a bit of a wiser sense, I guess. And, of course, you always got to stay warm in this freezing cold Superdome. Someone please turn on the heating. Yeah. But I don't really know too much about these two guys, other than they're both substitutes, so anything could happen here.
Yeah, and Gonzo, you look at this, how Crew Mask, he's already gotten 2-0 victories in the warm-up rounds. Is it possible that that's going to be reflective of what we're going to see in the regular match?
Maybe not. Maybe it's just that our opponent here is having a little bit of an issue trying to figure out how this opponent is playing. Shit, I'm getting distracted by something else.
Yeah, they've got one. Yeah, they got one more warm-up round here as they punch in the middle of the ring, and from what we're seeing, it looks like both of them are taking very aggressive strategies. Crew Mask getting a complete 3-0 sweep there in the first round, so maybe Jump Shot will have a complete 180, or he may just not even turn around his fate at all, depending on how the action in the ring goes. It's down to Bond Nickel. What was that, Gonzo?
If he actually learns about how Crow Mask goes, he better start learning.
Yeah, they might be able to figure out one another's strategies.
I didn't know our bell fucking works nights on the corner.
The first European heavy boxer tournament for the NHBL kicks off to an aggressive start with Jump Shot getting the first victory. And again, the first round is 2 out of 3, so Man of Destruction is going to have to win 2 rounds in a row there. That's a complete 180 from what we saw in the warm-up rounds, Gonzo.
Maybe he has actually learned about how Croon Mask works, or is it Croon Mask?
His registered name is the Man of Destruction.
Man of Destruction, huh? He's not doing much destruction beyond the warm-up rounds. Better get his act together.
Yeah, 235 ping base to 193, it looks like, or around 200. Both of these boxers high on their ping here. Here's round 2. Jump Shot leading Man of Destruction 1-0 as Jump Shot getting some more aggression in there. Here's some punches thrown, and it's Jump Shot who's going to advance to the next round. A 2-0 sweep over Man of Destruction. Jump Shot one step closer to getting that unusual. Ridge, what did we see in this match, or what did we see compared to the warm-up rounds that Man of Destruction didn't do as well as Jump Shot did?
I guess in the warm-up rounds we saw kind of a lot more of a sort of passive but at the same time very aggressive play style. Didn't really work out for Jump Shot, so the fact that he switched it up to more of a baiting style really did help him here.
Yeah, it looks like it did, but he's one step closer and will box next week in the divisionals of the NHBL European Finals. And next match that we have up here, Setup Lit and Ego GYT. Both of these heavy boxers have participated in the Season 6 NHBL Finals, and both of these heavy boxers know what it takes to be a top skilled, Setup Lid knows how to be a top skill heavy boxer, as he's consistently either placed in the top 4 of every tournament or he's lost in the semis to someone he's lost to in the top 4 of tournaments that he's boxed against. I believe both of these heavy boxers are having some major ping issues, so they're going to try and get these settled out as they head into the ring. But Gonzo, we've seen how Setup Lit has performed. He's just come short of making it to the final of any tournament, but he at least knows what potential advantage he has here, especially with sort of a home continent advantage.
Home continent? Well, kind of, sort of. I mean, Britain's on an island.
Well, I say home continent because he's based in Europe. The server's based in Europe, so the match he's participating in is finally on a continent that he is on as well.
Yeah, but as I said before, with one aspect out of the way, the rest is completely on the client side. He's got to make sure he times his punches right. He makes sure he's not also in the same range as his opponent, and he just has to rely on his luck too.
Yeah, and we look here, Ridge, as well, that, we look at Ego. He lost in the first round of the NHBL finals for Season 6. Unfortunately, he was a substitute boxer at the last minute. He was kind of jottled out of his normal rhythm because he was called in last minute for the NHBL finals. Didn't really know what he was doing going into that tournament. But now that he's here in the European finals, he's pretty much ready to go. And he was actually called in again last minute tonight. So is it possible that he could use this motivation of him, being confused? Could he use this as motivation to better his game?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It is, as you said, he is more of a substitute rather than a full-time person like anyone else who does have White Russian Bear, etc. So this being called up as a jostle, maybe it could, impact his performance somewhat. But nothing much more to say.
That's one of the best lines you can say. Just that's fantastic. I believe that they are on their last warm-up round here, so they're going to box up here. I believe Setup Lit giving an issue that he's having some ping issues along his side, or at least some major lag spikes on his internet connection. I thought Europe was supposed to have a lot better internet than the United States, Gonzo.
But they're halfway across the world, so our connections will probably be different because most of us here reside in the States, so it will be totally different than the home team advantage of the people who play out of Europe.
Yeah, and the final warm-up round occurring there, so we'll see how it goes going forward here. And here we go, Setup Lit and Ego going right across the middle. Setup Lit trying to find an advantage here. He does get that one-punch lead over Ego. Punches exchanged in the middle as Setup Lit is trying to find a way in, and he does! Even though he's complaining about those lag spikes, Setup Lit takes the lead 1-0. Ridge, it seems that Ping is serving him well.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was a very, very sort of more interesting than I would have thought, because they both backed away as soon as they hit each other, and I guess it kind of made it so that it was more of a luck-based game after a while. But yeah, these lag spikes have definitely been serving him well so far.
Here's round 2, Setup Lit and Ego going across the middle of the ring here. Again, my mic got going on somebody else's end. There needs to be a mute there as the boxers punch each other in the middle. Setup Lit trying to get a punch in there, misses, gets another one in, trying to land some, and Setup Lit is advancing to the next round. So Setup Lit and Jump Shot are going to be interviewed by Gonzo here. But Ridge, we see both of those matches. We see how they're both going to advance to the next round, one step closer to the NHBL finals, potentially to the Natascha Heavyweight Championship. But the way Setup Lit performed here against Ego, how did he sweep him 2-0?
I mean, it could be due to client-side lag, making it look like that the other person is quite jittery, because that can happen unless if you have lag compensation on both ends. But very good performance from Setup there.
Yep, indeed, and we will see Setup Lit next week in the divisionals. Of course, after the wild cards are over tomorrow, we'll get the order of how those divisionals are going to play in order, who boxes on Friday and who boxes on Saturday. But for right now, we have Mindless Gonzo down in the ring with the victors interviewing Jump Shot and Setup Lit. Gonzo?
All right, here I am first with Setup. You were complaining about the lag spikes earlier, but you managed to come out on top despite them. Do you think there's some divine intervention that's helping you along here? Waiting for a response? Probably. Okay. It's a private... What? Okay, never mind. Metro... Okay, never mind, Metro. Just... Okay. How do you feel about your opponents so far? Well, opponent, more like. Guess the lag gods feel a bit sorry this time. Are you looking forward to the future matches, and how far do you think you will go? To quote Medic, I have no idea. All right. Now on to our next opponent, Jump Shot. Despite having some bad warm-ups, you managed to came out on top. Was there good fortune for you, or is there something else happening? Or did you actually be able to overcome with a different method than what you were going for in the warm-up rounds?
You are a loose cannon sandwich, but you are a damn good cop.
A different method. Okay. You're looking forward to the future tournament, the future opponents of the tournament. Are you looking forward to your future matches throughout this tournament?
Very well.
All right.
Yes.
I don't think I have any more questions.
Warm-up rounds here for Metro and Chicken. Now, Ridge, it's always a pleasure to have one of the Heavy Fight Club boxers in here. I just wish that some of them would. We wish that some of them would sign up for the tournament, of course, under not emergency come in right now circumstances, but more of that they would come in under properly registering. But it gives you something especially to talk about because you've seen Chicken fight for a while.
Oh yeah, I have seen Chicken fight for a long while across my 2 promotions that I've held. Yeah, Chicken, very capable fighter, but he is fighting Metro, a very long withstanding veteran of the business. But let's face, well, if Chicken can defeat White Russian Bear on high ping, then Metro might have a slight can't speak again. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and Gonzo, you've of course been around the NHBL a long time, and you've seen how Metro can perform. Him against such a tenured boxer of the Heavy Fight Club like Chicken, is that going to throw him off, or is he just going to have, or is the Frenchman going to have a lot of success here in the European finals?
Unfortunately, I've been having very bad memories, so I forgot most of how Metro fared.
Man,
Nice.
you gotta stay away from the alcohol, man. I'm telling you, stay away from that.
Life's been busy, and I had.
That is never a good response to hear when someone says, "Why do you drink so much alcohol?" or "Why don't you stay
Life's
away
been
from it?"
busy.
Life's been busy,
I especially had to deal with a podcast that should be going on at this time, but we're on hiatus. So.
You're forgiven then. You are very much forgiven. Here's round 1 for Metro and Chicken. Looks like Metro in red, Chicken in blue. Chicken the one with the flaming unusual. As both of them have not thrown a first punch yet, going a little bit more conservatory as Chicken managed to get 2-punch lead there as they're trying to land some more hits there, but unfortunately missing. Metro trying to get some ground back. He's down 3, make that down 3 still, and Chicken takes the first round. Chicken taking the lead here. Is this what you've seen in the Heavy Fight Club from Chicken here, Raid?
Definitely a lot more of a passive playstyle, which isn't necessarily too uncharacteristic. He does go for these sort of more mind-gamey, ready plays rather than raw DM, brawn over brain. But yeah, very good first round there. Very entertaining. 10 out of 10.
1-0 lead for Chicken over Metro. The Frenchman trying to extend it to a final round. He circles around the middle of the ring. Chicken getting the first punch in, dealt back by Metro. Double punch for both. Make that a punch lead for Chicken. Make that a 2-punch lead as he's trying to get back in, but Metro will fall. The Frenchman has lost to Chicken in the first round. Gonzo, I know that your memory is blurry, of course, but it's got to be at least upsetting that Metro is going down in the first round here.
Especially when he's having a bit of a disadvantage. I believe somebody said that there has been some ping spikes present here in the server, but then again, we're playing on a totally different server that's not stateside, so I really can't. I'm not sure if it played into the Vita Metro or not, but
Yeah, and of course, that dispute protocol is in place in case a heavy boxer wants to make a dispute here. But Metro falling down as the timer has passed, and Chicken will advance to face either Flaming or Viking 34. And Viking 34, we're looking forward to see him tomorrow, the first European to win an NHBL regular season tournament. Managed to win the My Variety Backyard Brawl back in August of 2017. Time for the premier match, what we've all been waiting for. El Comandante and Retro facing off here, the first European to participate in the Natascha Heavyweight Championship, and looking to try and get back into the NHBL finals. He's had an unfortunate struggle throughout the last few tournaments. He hasn't qualified yet, Ridge, but at least with the effort he's been putting in, he may very well qualify for it. If he wins this tournament, he does qualify for it, but he's a major contender or one of the predicted heavy boxers to potentially win the Natascha Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, it's going to be such a good match, this one. Yeah, both of these guys are very talented performers here, with El Comandante actually on decent ping. This is going to be a very, very interesting match indeed. I honestly don't know which way this is actually going to go. I honestly don't.
Yeah, and it looks like their warm-up rounds, of course, needed to occur here. As, you know, Gonzo, we look at how Retro, I do not believe he's participated in any NHBL tournaments before. I have a feeling I'm going to get messages here from Clayface saying, hey, your statistic is wrong on that. But he's at least, regardless of whether he's participated in the past or not, he's looking to make his mark here, especially against a high contender or the one favored to win this entire tournament here.
I got nothing to say. I think you pretty much summarized it up.
Yeah, as both of them going into the warm-up rounds there, Comandante getting that first victory up there. And again, you know, Ridge, we look again at both of these heavy boxers, you know, there's always the underdog stories that happen, you know, a big underdog story happening with White Russian Bear back in Season 2. And of course, we look, you know, at the tenured heavy boxer stories like Some Porcupine winning several tournaments and going on to win the Natascha Heavyweight Championship over White Russian Bear. There's so much unpredictability in the NHBL, especially with big heavy boxers like El Comandante and potentially Retro.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The underdog story, big prevalent thing here to get people to get the boxers' momentum driving up. But not much really more to say other than let the best match so far of 2018 commence.
Yeah, they do actually have one more warm-up round to go here as Comandante and Retro tied in warm-up rounds. So Retro obviously knows a little bit of the moves of Comandante, it looks like, or managed to get a lucky victory there in the warm-up round, one of the two options there. As, of course, someone also pointed out here, you know, the ping balance is in between 16 and 16, basically. They're both, almost it's like they're both in the same neighborhood, almost. I don't know how great of a story that would be to see Retro and Comandante, you know, walk out of their house and see each other on the streets after this match. That may not be good. You see, that'd be the same story, you know, if Baxter and Gonzo were in the same neighborhood and walked out and saw each other. That would not be good.
Good fucking luck.
Here's round one. El Comandante and Retro circling around the middle of the ring, trying to find that first punch landed there. Both of them missed their first punch attempts. And again, Mr. Retro, both of them getting the punch in evenly. It's both heavy boxers trying to get a deal there as Retro, the man with the unusual. Comandante down a punch as Retro gets one in there in the middle of the ring. Comandante trying to find a way in here as both of them continue to circle around the ring. Almost just some more aggressive strategies from both of these heavy boxers as they have a balanced around 15-14 ping. More punches thrown by them as they're trying to be more conservatory with their packages. And it's Retro who gets the first round and takes the lead on Comandante, the defending finalist in the NHBL Season 6 finals, losing to Russian Bear in that. But Retro takes the first lead here, Gonzo, and we look... How is it that Retro takes the first lead here against Comandante?
Well, they may be on equal ping, but do keep in mind, they've been trying to match each other in moves and stuff. But always remember, it's always the luck. It's always the luck. That's always come down to whatever makes winners and losers here. It's just, did you make it or did you not? Did it register? Did it not? All comes down to luck.
Retro has a lead over Commandante. El Commandante trying to force a third round here. We haven't had a 1-1 round here so far in the kickoffs. It's been 2-0 sweeps as the first punch is thrown in there. Both heavy boxers trying to deal in. Commandante looks like he has the advantage, trying to get another punch in there, and Commandante will force it to the final round. El Commandante and Retro tied 1-1 here, Ridge, and it almost looks like Commandante has figured out the strategy of Retro.
Oh yeah, definitely. Bait. I think it's pretty much just baiting at this point. Very, very passive from both boxers here. Very, very full of mind games. Moving on to the second round, third and final round rather. It's a pretty good match this.
Yeah, down to the final round. It's sad to see either of these boxers go in the round of 16, but it's do or die. One kill and you advance to face Setup Lit in the quarterfinals. Retro and Commandante trying to get their punches in. Retro just flinging punches at the open space. Commandante doing a little bit as well, and it looks like the first punch registered there. I believe that was for Commandante. It may have been for Retro as another punch registers. Looks like there may be a lead here for Retro as both of them trying to deal their punches in. It's Retro again. Commandante just trying to hang on for dear life as he tries to deal his punches in, getting backed up to his corner by Retro. Retro keeping more dominant strategy here as he's trying to get some more punches in. Retro again missing a punch. Both of them just missing their punches into the dead air. Commandante managing to get one in as Retro beats Commandante, and Retro will head to the next round pending a dispute, of course. So we'll see if anything happens within the 15 seconds. And I believe, unless somebody says anything about a dispute, I believe the 15 seconds are up at this point. And it is confirmed Retro is going to face Setup Lit in the quarterfinals. Now, Ridge is going to get an interview here with both of these guys, Gonzo. But you look at that, again, it's sad to see both of these heavy boxers fall in the first round. But is it almost, at least with the way Commandante played, is it a surprise or is it expected for Retro to get the win there?
Yeah, it's actually a surprise. These two had never been on any sort of competition before, and we never. And judging from the way things turned out here with all the tenseness and everything, it's kind of sad. They should be on more tournaments than this. They both provided a great stellar fight here.
They did, and I believe, yeah, there's Ridge. I told you I was gonna no clip you, man. So Ridge heading down to the ring to get an interview with the victors of the two other kickoff matches, Mr. Retro and Mr. Chicken. Both of them going to get an interview with Ridge. Ridge.
Thank you very much, Fedora. Now, we'll start off with the boy Retro over here. So, Retro, do you think that this will act as a confidence booster towards the future? Because this could be a very, very big redemption story for you. So how do you reckon, how much degree do you reckon this is going to be a big confidence booster for you? It's all about how you play, in my opinion. Yeah, that's definitely true. There is some sort of effort in there. Another question real quick before I cut over to Chicken. How will you adapt your playstyle going forward? Do you reckon that this playstyle is good for you? Do you reckon you make any changes in the future going forward?
I reckon it's very good. I use it very often in matches, and it tends to work out very well for me. So I don't see why not. I should use it.
All right. Thank you very much for your time there, sir. And now we've got my boy from the HFC, Big Boy Chicken. Chicken. Although Fedora did say something about ping and how it isn't a direct factor, do you reckon that actually having less than 100 ping has helped you out here?
Do you know what? I'd say so, but not at the moment, because I have 140 ping, it says in my net underscore graph. But if it doesn't lag spike, I hope I'll do well.
Yeah. One more final question here. With these two wins over White Russian Bear in the previous tournament and Metro here, do you reckon this will act as a massive confidence booster going forwards for you? Very good answer there. Just yee. I like it. I like it there. That concludes our interviews, I guess.